Yeah, good morning, Eric.
Morning, Mr. K.
Yeah, so today is our review, right?
Mm,
Okay, so for me, the topic I would like to talk about is there are two. Firstly, is about carnivore diet, and second, it is about we have a topic about the quote, something like Netflix doesn't cost
mm,
$15.99.
mm.
In that topic, I want to talk about one part. Yeah, discussed in that topic.
Is it regarding to the intentions or regarding to the cost and benefit or others?
It is more about uh, the intention, and uh, at that part we talk about uh, I remember did say something like the
Mm,
economy doesn't run. Do you still remember?
yeah,
Yeah, and we have some
yeah,
examples. Yeah, I think I did have some understanding about that. So I want to make sure that I have the correct understanding.
yeah. And yeah, I'm with you. But I want to review about the good intention. And this is
Oh,
my first topic I want to make a review. And
mm,
second is about the reading session. And because I did some research after that, and then I found that some of the information I actually give wrongly, so I want to
oh,
correct it. Yeah,
okay.
and mm, so that's all.
All right. So which one first?
Yeah, okay. I start my one first because my one
Mm,
is quite short
okay.
about the reading session. And last time I say the brown rice GI index,
Mm,
which is called if I'm not wrong, it's called the glycemics. If I'm not wrong, yeah, the GI ratio, the GI index is more than is higher than the white rice, but it's wrong. Okay.
mm,
The white rice GI index is around 73, and the brown rice GI index is around 68. Yeah. Uh, brown rice index, although the difference is not much.
mm,
Yeah, but brown rice GI index is lower than white rice GI index. This is something I want to make a correction.
mm,
And the second is, mm, when we compare the white rice and the brown rice has more nutrients and lower GI index, which is good thing, but
mm,
but has more arsenic. Yeah, and white
mm,
rice is the
yep.
opposite. White rice also contain arsenic, but it's much lesser. Yeah,
Mm,
and white rice has lesser nutrients and also higher GI index. Mm.
mm, yep. So
So
the difference between them is actually uh, the arsenic, right? Otherwise,
as
the
as
brown rice will be uh, better off. Yeah, if we don't
yeah,
have arsenic.
yeah, because yeah, I totally agree with you because um white rice versus brown rice, there's not a 100% answer to choose in between them, because arsenic is actually not a good thing to us. And yeah, of course, brown rice contain more nutrients and lower GI index, but you can use other food to replace it. You can eat other foods, other veggie or other meats to get more nutrients. And
Mm,
also, if you want to lower the GI index, you have other methods. You don't
mm,
have to eat brown rice in order to capture the uh the net the net price saving on the GI index. It doesn't help you actually.
yeah.
It doesn't contribute much. It will help you, but it will not contribute much.
Mm,
Mm,
yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think with the figure, I now more understand about the difference between them in terms of the GI index, because previously I thought people say brown rice is better, and for people, let's say they have higher blood sugar levels, and yeah, so if we look at this, and yeah, we know that it's better, but not to the degree that a
can
big
cure
difference
your
there, right?
diabetes. Yeah,
Mm,
it's not on. enough to the degree can cure diabetes. If you got the diabetes, maybe you need to change your whole diet. It's not just change one or two foods.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and also, yeah, you go ahead first.
Just now you say that the brown rice has got higher nutrients, right? More nutrients. Is the nutrients here include something like the fiber?
Yes, included.
Oh, yeah. Because brown rice did provide more fiber.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you study carnivore diets, one of the argument is fiber is actually not good not good for your body. Yeah, this is also one of the nuances.
Yes.
And also, continue with the white and brown rice, and yeah, and also about the brown rice, the arsenic, and I did found the article you mentioned, which is how to reduce the arsenic level from 100% to down to 18%. But actually, it combined two methods. First is the soaking, and the second is using kind of like the cooking method, using the heat and to maybe let some of the arsenic evaporate. Yeah, something like that. So it actually combine two methods. First is soaking, the first is heating or boiling. So by using both of these methods combined together, you can down from 100% to 18%. But most of people don't do like this one.
Yes.
Most of people either do once. Yeah.
That is inconvenient to do the second step, which is like to boil them, and then you have to remove the water and then do it again.
Yeah, and some people do that, but some people don't soak it for maybe overnight.
Yeah.
So most of people won't achieve that 18%. I mean, most of people won't achieve the, I think it's 82% saving. Sorry, 82% reduction. Yeah. So it still have its concern, but how much quantity of the arsenic will kind of like make your body in a trouble. And by considering in Asian country we eat the rice every day. So this is one of the question you have to find the answer if you want to eat brown rice every day. Yeah. And if you use only one method, either is soaking, either is a heating, you can only reduce the arsenic level around 50%. Yeah, sometimes it's 40%, sometimes it's 60, sometimes it's 50, and also it also depends on the source. Where is the products come from? What is the origin of the country? It also mentioned in our reading session. From some of the for some of the brown rice, it's come from some country and it has relatively lower arsenic level. And also another thing is when you purchase the brown rice, and then you look at the label, they won't tell you arsenic. They'll tell you high fiber, high nutrient, high vitamin D, high calcium, all that thing, but they won't tell you high arsenic. So yeah, this is not a good thing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the first topic I want to make a review. Yeah, sorry. One more. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
About the phytic acid, and I mentioned about which called the phytatics, or called the phytic acids. And last time I mentioned it will reduce some of the nutrients like the mineral in your body. Is phytic acid is also one of the well-known, well-studied anti-nutrients. And if you eat it together with like the prawns or like some other seafood, and then it will offset the absorption of the copper. But okay, but this is what I say in the reading session. But actually, it's not the copper. Yeah, copper is not good for our body. Yeah, although phytic acid also will kind of like absorb the copper, and then we can remove it out of our body. So it's one of good thing of the phytic acid. But another, it's not only will kind of like offset, will reduce the bad things in your body. Also can offset the good nutrient in your body. What three of them? Calcium. The second is a zinc. Zinc, and the third is the iron. Yeah. And so one thing I want to highlight is sometimes phytic acid also can have the health benefits due to the antioxidant properties. Phytic acid is also is actually one of the antioxidants. Okay, it has a features. It has a property which can act like the vitamin C, or act like the vitamin K. Yeah, this is also one of the antioxidants nutrients. But you not only need to get this from the phytic acids. Yeah, although this is good. Yeah, sometimes it's good, but this is not something like you can keep consuming it. Yeah, if you consume too much, and it will kind of like deplete some of the essential mineral in your body, calcium, zinc, and iron, and you will face the nutrition deficiency, and it's not good for you. So you need to balance. Yeah, and how to balance is not maybe you need to do a lot of study. You need to do a lot of studies, and also you need to listen to your body, because everyone is different. Somebody cannot tolerate too much phytic acids. Yeah. And also another thing is try to there's a order. I forget is, I think if I'm not mistaken, you eat the veggie, you eat the fruit first.
Yeah. Okay. With the fiber one.
Yeah. And then after that you eat the meat. Yeah, and after that you eat the meat, so that it will reduce the offsetting. Yeah, so that's mean if you eat the veggie, they contain the phytic acid first, and then after that you eat the meat, and then it will reduce the depletion, it will reduce the offset. Yeah, I forget the order, but you can find it very easily from online. Yeah, it's just about the order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, what you want to add?
Yeah, no, you can. Are you still talking about the related things?
No.
Yeah, because previously I also heard that people say eating fruits or vegetables before you eat something like meat. Yeah, I thought it is about something related to fiber, which is like we need to have the fiber first to go to our gut, and then after you eat the meat, and it helps the bowel movement. Yeah. Yeah. But now we have another reason to consider doing that. I mean, the order.
Yeah, and actually fiber is not absorbable by human body. So it just went through the big intestines and also went through the small intestine and directly go to your gut.
Yeah.
So your big intestines and also your small intestines cannot absorb anything from a fiber, because fiber is some fiber have two types. One is edible, one is inedible. Yeah. And you kind of like imagine you eat a plastic inside you eat a plastic, and then all of your organs cannot process it, and then it comes out from your anus. You can imagine it's kind of like the fiber. Yeah, because this is just an analogy. This is not the exact one. It's not the correct situation. Fiber can fit your microbiome in your gut. And some studies actually found that fiber in your gut, which processed by your microbiome, is actually converts from some of the part into the short chain fatty acids. Yeah. You can find the what?
Yeah, the acid, is it a good thing?
Yeah, it's a good thing, and you can find, maybe you can search for online. Maybe you type fiber and then you type SCFA. Yeah, the short term of short chain fatty acid. You may find some study, but I think I'm not sure whether is it already widely accepted and widely quote unquote approved by most of the scientists, most of the nutritionists. I'm not sure, but there is some of the studies show that it will convert the fiber contents to the short chain fatty acid, and then short chain fatty acid is able to feed your liver, goes into your liver, and then converts into the ketones. Yeah, some of the terms you very familiar. Yeah, and you kind of like recognize this term with the ketones. So if you don't eat the fiber, and then you won't have this process. Fiber will not convert to fat SCFA, and will not go to your liver and then reprocess again, become the ketones. Right? If you don't eat fiber. But if let's say you don't eat all carbs, you eat a carnivore diet or you eat a ketogenic diet, and all the fats will just directly go to your liver, and then your liver will process the ketones. So it's kind of like one process faster, one process more efficient than the fiber method. Yeah, and it is more efficient. So if this is true, so that means you really don't need the fiber, because and also another thing is, this is I think it's a good research to read, and this is a huge research. I mean, sorry, I don't mean a huge research. I mean, this research involves a lot of people, and this is a big research, and the money spent on this research is quite a lot. And investigate like more than 100,000 people, if I'm not wrong, if I wasn't mistaken. And it studied about many different groups. They already have the bowel movement. They already have the symptoms. And then you give them separate them into 3 groups. One, you feed them high fiber diet. A second, you feed them moderated. And then the last one, you feed them 0. Yeah. zero fiber diet.
Zero.
Yeah.
Is it the carnivore diet?
You don't need to eat carnivore diet in order to get zero fiber, but it's kind of like quite near to that. Maybe you can pick some foods, maybe some of the fruits, maybe some of the veggie. I'm not sure. Don't have the fiber. I don't know how they conduct the research. You first, one thing is you can never know how the scientists, how the researchers conduct the research. You can only see the statistic that shows to you, but you couldn't see how they conduct the whole research. This is one of thing, yeah, one of the weakness. By just reading the study, by just reading the research, and blindly believe all their finding. Yeah, and also last thing is about the fasting or intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting has massive improvement on health. This I also mentioned this in previous conversation. And my question is, when eat less foods can has massive improvement on your health. It's massive, it's really massive. It's not just like, it's kind of like incomparable with changing your white rice to your brown rice. It's incomparable. I mean, the benefit, the massive improvement on your health is totally a different game. It's totally a different level. Yeah, and so you start to wonder, when eat less foods can have massive improvement on health, how do we pick the right food to eat? Yeah. So that's means you are not get the nutrients. You are not improve your health by eating more things, by getting more nutrients, right? You are eating lesser by removing some of things you don't need. So this is a logic. Yeah. Although it's just a logic, it's still haven't been proved, but it's kind of like give you the idea. Yeah, maybe we all are wrong. Yeah. So yeah, this is the whole topic I want to make a review.
Yeah. So how about we continue with the topic of carnivore diet? Yeah. Since we already talked about diet. Yeah. Because that day we are rushing because of the time, so I didn't have enough time to ask a few questions to you, which is like because you have tried that carnivore diet for 2 months already, right? Until now. And what do you think is the biggest challenges to you? Not in the past, maybe it can be like in the future you want to continue this carnivore diet.
I think the biggest changes to me is the worry.
No, I mean the challenges. Or are you saying changes or challenges?
Challenges, sorry. Challenges and also the obstacle, right? May stop you continue to do it, or may stop you to start, is it?
Right.
Yeah. I think the biggest changes is it's not about whether it can help, whether it can improve my health. It's actually what's the side effect, and also what's the long-term side effect. Yeah. So I did a lot of research and try to pick every try to solve every of my question. As long as there is one thing is totally bad for your body and comes naturally from the carnivore diet, and you have to bury it, and it is serious, maybe to cause some certain type of cancer, And yeah, I won't continue to the carnivore diet. Maybe I will change from the keto diet. And if keto diet also had the same problem, maybe try to increase the fiber, or maybe it's not about the proteins, it's not about the fat problem, it's about the carbs. Maybe you still need some carbs. Yeah, maybe I will incorporate more carb into my diet. But so far I haven't find the evidence show that carnivore diet will cause maybe like cancer, cardiovascular disease, and will cause some illness on your body. So far, I haven't find it. And also, this is also a challenge because you are not the expert and you need to spend a lot of time to study.
Yeah.
And also, you have to listen to the both side. Otherwise, you will have to you will have to confirmation bias because you try to let yourself to continue to do this, and then you ignore other evidence that show the opposite evidence.
Yes.
Yeah. So you need to keep rethink, and every time your body has some symptoms, you need to aware it. I mean, it's the negative symptoms. You need to find what is the issue? How can I solve it? So it's kind of like you really take control of back or from your body. You really start to have the awareness. Now, some people think diet is just diet. I don't want to spend too much time on it. But you spend so much time on cooking, on preparing. Now I spend lesser time on preparing. I spend lesser time on cooking, but I spend more time on aware how my body works.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we had better treat diet style or diet habit as an investment of health, something like that.
And you really need to find a solution to solve the problem. And if you want to continue with this, for example, the constipation, this is quite serious to me actually. Yeah, and if that problem cannot be solved, if the constipation problem cannot be solved, I will incorporate more veggie into my diet. I wouldn't just determine with the carnivore diet. Maybe carnivore diet is just not suitable for me. Yeah. So that you are not stick with the diet, you are stick with your body.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, but still, not many research. There's a lot of research, but not enough study that can prove carnivore diet really can improve your health.
Yeah.
And no matter how much you learn from carnivore diet, you also have to aware that this is one of the very, very restrictive diet. And it may not good for your body in long term. It may not get good for your body if you are able to incorporate more foods. Yeah. So you see, even for those people who have serious autoimmune disease, when they only can eat beef, they cannot eat chicken, they can only eat beef, water, and salt. They also try to incorporate some of the food they can eat back into their diet, maybe the mushroom, just like the Peterson. They do it very carefully. Why? Because the logic is you shouldn't eat just only one food. You should eat more than one food at least.
Yep.
This is a logic, and we don't want to risk. We don't want to risk this. So if something is maybe good for you, or in short term or in medium term is not bad for your body, you should eat this. But sometimes you will find that after incorporate the food, and then 1 month later, the symptoms start to come back. It's not come back directly after the next day you eat. Sometimes yes, I experience this quite a lot of time. But sometimes 1 month after, and then you found okay, this food I cannot tolerate, it's just a kind of like toxic, toxic. But the toxic is not very very strong, but it's weak. But when you keep eating the same thing and accumulate, and then your body start to gain back the symptoms, the negative symptoms. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, and one thing you have to aware that you shouldn't make yourself, and to make the kind of diet become a religion, or make any kind of diet, ketogenic diet, become a religion.
Religion? Do you mean like blindly believes in something and then follow it tightly, no matter how?
Yeah. You know, some of the vegans, they treat their diet, they treat the vegan diet as religion already. When there are so much evidence show that you couldn't have a overall improvement on your health if you either don't eat enough animal proteins, animal products, either don't consume a lot of supplements, because there are certain nutrients, no matter it's mineral, no matter it's vitamins, they cannot be obtained by purely vegan diet or plant-based food, or whole plant or the whole plant foods. You have to eat the animal products in order to get the nutrient, in order to get a certain type of amino acids to get enough. Or get some vitamin. For example, vitamins K2, vitamin B12 is very essential for human body. Yeah. But what they say, even some of the vegan, not all the vegan, some of vegan will change the argument from this is we as a human, we need to protect the planet, we need to protect the environment, even though the diet is bad for my body in long term, I still will eat this diet because of I want to save the planet, or I want to save the earth. I want to save the environment. So it become a religion already.
I think it is like for vegan, they actually gain some mental benefits for not eating animals. Either it's like maybe they feel sympathy, or maybe they feel like they contribute to the world, save the world. I think it's because of these mental benefit support their belief, make them to determine also. This is one of the, I think, is the attribution to their belief.
Yeah, and you look at you can go to look some statistic, and you will find that almost most almost all people who try to carnivore diet, one of the major factors that make them to try the diet is actually the health problem, the health issue. They want to improve their health up to
lose weight.
Yeah, and more than 90%. This is more than 90%. Maybe some also will feel like curiosity and will try, but also the curiosity is come from whether I can improve my health. You won't be curious if something can kill you or not. You won't risk yourself going to you risk yourself to try to jump from a 13th floor. You won't try it. You won't be curious if I jump from this, and then whether I can know whether this whether this world is fake. Maybe we are just in a computer game. I can restart my game all over again, or I will just die. You won't try this, even though you are very curious about it. And also, you won't try whether we have the heaven or we have the health. You won't try. You just naturally wait your time to come, and then you'll die, and then you see after that maybe you go to the heaven, or maybe you go to hell, or maybe not. Yeah, but you once to fulfill your curiosity, and then you suicide, and then to see whether there's a hell, whether there's a heaven. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, be honest yourself. Yeah, so most of the people goes into carnivore diet is because of they have the incentive. They want to try it. Maybe it can improve their health benefit, and maybe they can improve their health. And but for vegans, the distribution is quite distributed. I mean, the factors. Some people is because of the environment. Some people is because the health, problem. They want to improve their health. Some people, maybe just like you say, because of the ethic, they want to protect the animal or that thing. Yeah, it's quite distributed. Yeah.
Yeah. And I suddenly remember something I need to tell you because I afraid that later I forgot. In the topic list, conversation list, our Excel file, and then the topic carnivore diet, you have 3 links, right? You put 3 links, and one of the links I couldn't open.
Second link or the third link?
I think it's the second, if I didn't, if I'm not mistaken. You may try to click in whether you can access it.
Yeah, okay. And you continue your next one, and then I try at the same time.
Oh, okay. Yep. And then the biggest, just now I asked you the biggest challenges because I also think like in the short term maybe you feel better off in terms of health, but for long term it seems like a question marks because carnivore diet, no matter how we say, it is still not really so common to all of the people. Yeah, so you really need something like your knowledge to support your belief. Yeah, is it okay? The link.
Okay, the third link I could access.
Okay, so it's the third one.
Yeah, and the second link. Yeah, the second link I can access. Okay, but
is it the Harvard one? The Harvard one I can see the Harvard study.
Yeah, and okay, and the third one is actually the full study, the real PDF file of the study.
Oh.
Mentioned in the second link. So it's kind of like the second link is the summary, and if you want to read the full study, the really very 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 detailed and the origin of this, and this is the third link. And then if you want to try, I think, for me, I will try to change. I will try to change an accessible link on our YouTube. Okay, and for you, I think if you want to check it, and then you just type, you use your Google ability, the carnivore diet experience of like 2029 people, a Harvard study like this.
Okay.
You try to find, you are able, you are able to find the real PDF file. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and also one thing you did mention about the longevity, right? And I think so far we still couldn't prove whether vegans or whether vegetarian diet is good for longevity, because we don't have a control group.
Yep.
So if you want to say, okay, most of the scientists, most of the nutritionists, they will say, okay, plant-based food is good for you, so is it good for you? It's definitely good for your longevity. Yeah, and if you want to believe this, you can do that. I just choose another unconventional way. I just try. I'm not trying to be different. I try to be better off for me. Yeah, I make my own decisions. Of course, you can have your own consideration. I also have my own consideration. And just like one of the point I make, if something goes wrong, what would you think? Do you think it's still okay because everyone are the same? We all of us die earlier, and also nowadays we already can live like 70 years, 80 years, right? And yeah, so it doesn't matter. But what if we can actually reduce your longevity? Maybe you can live to your potential maybe 80 years, 70 years, but now you can only live to 60 years. Or you may get some health issues that couldn't make you live until your potential. Yeah. And yeah, of course, carnivore diet also have the same problem. Yeah. But if we look at the studies, it seems like diet, because of lack of the isolation, the environment, lack of the control group, and then we can only just look at the statistic, look at the observational study. As long as you don't smoke, as long as you do regular exercise, as long as you didn't experience like the chronic stress, and then diet is kind of like insignificant to your longevity. I mean, based on our current finding, based on the science finding, yeah, and also like intermittent fasting is good for your body and also good for your longevity. This is also kind of like studied quite a lot. And then you can incorporate all of these things, and then you can maybe carnivore diets will also reduce the longevity, but maybe by doing all of those things, you can offset the negative circumstance, offset the negative consequences. So it's kind of like maybe it can reduce your longevity, but how many years it will reduce? Yeah, chronic stress level can reduce up to 11 years. 11 years. Yeah. And if you say carnivore diets, this kind of unconventional diet, the effect should be more than that. But many people who eat a carnivore diet, they eat more than 5 years. They still feel well. If this is more serious than the chronic stress on our body health, on our body longevity, mortality, what's the essence? How many years you can do on the carnivore diet before you die? 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years? Give me a number. Yeah. So how much it really can reduce your longevity? And so far, we still can find some statistic. Okay, for example, one thing is you look at the opposite. One of the thinking method is inversion. Inversion means you look at the opposite of the thing. So is eating animal product is bad for your body? Some people say yes, because it kind of like boosts your body to grow the cell, to grow, and then it actually bad for longevity, because you try to think maybe because of the DNA, because of telomere, and you kind of like make it faster to resolve your health issue, and then or make it faster to cure your wounds, or do whatever positive impact on your body, or grow your muscle. Everything increase your metabolisms. Yeah, and it's bad for your longevity. This is one argument. So you should go for the plant-based foods. But is eating animal-based foods reduce your longevity significantly?
Yeah.
No.
So we
No,
need to
because
look into the effect, right? How is it significant?
And you look at those countries have relatively high meat consumption. Their mortality rate is not so high. You cannot find significant statistic correlation between the meat consumption and their mortality rate. And like the Hong Kong, I didn't do some research. I didn't do the research. I just heard the people in the Carnivore diet community say Hong Kong people has relatively higher meat consumption than other countries. But they live longer. I mean, for the whole country, they live longer. So maybe environments and maybe the pollution of those things, maybe the social participants rate, stress, maybe all those things contribute more. I would say like this, contribute more than whether eating plants or eating meat. And even though eating plants maybe can increase the longevity of you, maybe from 90 to 100 or from 100 to 110, but what is the quality of your life? If you have to spend a lot of time on preparing the foods, to cook the foods, how it affect how it affect the quality of your life? It's also one of the problems. Yeah. And another thing is, if you look at this is continue on the inversion. And if eating less animal products or eat no animal product will not really increase your longevity significantly, or the opposite, eating the animal products will not reduce your longevity and increase your mortality significantly. Will eating just animal products will reduce your longevity significantly? Of course, there is no cause and effect here. Yeah, it's just the association. You still need to do a lot of research, and this is just like the logic. This is about the extent. Yeah. So, but you couldn't say that by thinking in this way, you couldn't think that animal product is bad for our body. This is a fact. Animal product is not bad for our body because you couldn't find significant increases of mortality rate in a country who has or in the community who has a high meat consumption. You couldn't find this, so you couldn't falsify it. So eating animal product is not bad for our body.
Yep.
If you accept this notion, if you accept this conclusion, so the question is not because whether animal products or plant product, it's just about the extent. And about the extent, this is something we can control. We can eat less animal-based foods. We can eat more veggie. You do the ketogenic diet, you eat a lot of veggie, yeah, right?
Yes.
And one of the things missing in this part is a carbs, is a carbohydrate. So it linked to another bigger question: do human body really need carbohydrate? Yeah. So
Yep.
this is one of the biggest nuances.
Yes. Yeah, because
Yeah.
in our previous knowledge, we know that carbohydrates is kind of like the main source of humans' energy, right?
Yeah. It's okay.
Yep.
Okay. Try to think like this. If you only eat veggie, what is the main source of energy you get from your food? If from the nutrient come from the veggie. If you eat a lot of fat, what is the main source of the energy you get from your food? It's a fat. So if you say carbohydrate is a main source of the fuel of the energy we get from, it doesn't mean that eating carbohydrate is good for us. It's just because we eat too much carbohydrate.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I don't want to because if I want to explain the nuances of why carbohydrate may not necessary to your body, it will take very long time. You go study by your own.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I see the diet. Right now, my thinking is that it is just about the combination. Yeah. The current healthy guidance. The combination of that may not be optimal compared to, let's say, a carnivore diet. There are still many uncertainty. I see it as the example of keyboard, the computer keyboard. We're using the QWERTY keyboard, right? And you can find the alphabet. They are not orderly. They are not in the order, right? And they found that actually this is, if you want to talk about the typing speed, this is not the optimal combinations. But because people getting used to it and the history of this, because previously they need to reduce the arrows for the printing machine so that the typing machine so that they make it like this. But actually, it is not the most optimal one. So I think for diet, maybe it's also like this because in the past, we couldn't get, human couldn't get so much meat easily.
Yes. So we need to produce a lot of veggie to feed every people.
Yep. And also our, what's that, the evolution, you can see our teeth is suitable to eat meat as well as vegetables. Because maybe at that time we just want to focus on the survival.
And also human came through the ice age, ice age you couldn't plan, and also there's no plan for you to eat. How humans survive in that environment? If they couldn't really survive, we wouldn't live until we wouldn't have the human civilization. We wouldn't have, like, you can sit here, your ancestor already died.
Yep. Yep. So I think in this current world, we no longer find it very difficult to get particular foods. We can access to all kind of foods. So yeah, I think it is a good time for the scientists, and also the people to find out what is the really optimal food source for our health.
Yeah, totally agree. I also want more research and more good research. It's not kind of like the cherry picking research, just like the seven country study research. Did you read that?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and beside the question I asked you, I actually also have one more things to talk about with regard to carnivore diet. And yeah, because I remember in the video that you shared with me, the speaker actually asked Peterson, wanted to know more about his blood test, something like that. So I think
What? Can you repeat the keyword again?
The blood test.
Oh,
the
yeah, the blood work.
Yeah. So I think you also include this in your plan, right? Maybe you have a blood test every year or every half year body checkup, because only by doing that we can know more about our body, because sometimes we feel good, but in our body maybe we have some problems. Maybe it's not really good at a particular part. Yeah.
I don't. I didn't. I actually don't include the blood test or the blood work into my plan, because you couldn't just do one blood work to know the overall health of body. You can do the simple one and you test what's your cholesterol level and do that very simple, but you couldn't see into detail. And what if I want to test whether my kidney function is good enough, whether there's kidney stones, what's the function, is it operate at the optimum level? Once I want to test my kidney, my liver, whether I have like a fatty liver, or maybe what's the function, whether my liver function well. How about my heart? How about my other organs? Yeah, and how about the whether I have the blood clot. If you do a simple blood work and you can only see some of your marker, the terms they use, the jargon terms they use is a marker, which is cholesterol level, maybe the LD
blood sugar level,
LDL, HDL, and also one of these is maybe called the triglyceride. Yeah, triglyceride. Yeah. But it's just about the marker. Yeah. If you want to study whether there's kind of like the fat really stick on your blood vessel, you need to do another
comprehensive one, right?
another scan. Yeah, scan your blood vessel to see whether there is the fat clot on the wall of your blood vessel, and you need to do a lot of tests. Yeah, and it costs you a lot of money. I'd rather save the money, yeah, and then eat the food. So yeah, maybe it's good for the testing, but I didn't do the testing before I start the diet. How can I know? How can I know whether after starting the diet my health issue become worse, or my health become better? I couldn't compare. Yeah. And I mean, I think that if you give me enough money, if you give me a lot of money, if somebody subsidize me to do the blood test, blood work, I will go for it. But nobody will subsidize me to do that. Yeah. And even though you do that, after that, how do you read this? How do you interpret your blood work?
Actually, the doctor can explain to you, because it is like few months ago, like 2 or 3 months ago, my younger brother actually go for a blood test, and his one, I think, is not a simple one. It's like quite comprehensive, I think, because he said the doctor explained to him many things, like uh, uh, about the blood, about the fat, about the acid, about also about the organ, like the any problems to this organ, the functioning. They have a range. If you close to the middle of the range, then it means it's functioning well. If it is more to the lower range, then maybe they you need to be careful, maybe on your diet for what
How much
particular things.
how much it costs?
Yeah, I think I tell you maybe tomorrow. I haven't asked him.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. If this is not expensive, I definitely would go for it. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Of course, it's not due in Singapore because of
Yeah.
the currency.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I see.
and
Mm.
also I'm not sure whether my medical card, which is the corporate, means the company give me one. The medical card can subsidize how much and how much it can reimburse, how much I can
Mm.
reimburse.
Yeah.
Maybe after the calculation, maybe doing Singapore is more affordable for me. Yeah, if
Mm.
this is the case, yeah, I will go for it
Mm. Yeah.
because if you just do one time, right? And also maybe you can plan. Maybe you do one time per 3 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
or per 1 year. And also, I think body checkup is really really important. Yeah,
Mm.
body checkup, and also like check whether whether you're exposed to some cancer, some health issue. Yeah, it's also very important. You can spot the disease before it happens.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, so
Yeah.
if affordable, I definitely will go for it.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, because I see like this carnivore diet. If yeah, because just now my question is like, what is the biggest challenges? And we found that maybe in the long term we're afraid of the side effects.
Mm.
So I think maybe like you said, having a blood test body checkup
Mm.
every 2 or 3 years can help to prevent
Yes,
we may not see the improvement, but we just see whether if there is
the
some
changes.
serious things. Mm, yeah,
Mm.
which is like endangering our body.
Yeah, and then we are able to change back, right?
Yeah.
If that scenario happen. Yeah, so it's not that yeah, you're right. If you do the blood test every 1 year or every 2 years or every 3 years, of course the shorter is better, but you shouldn't do it too short, like every 6 months. Yeah, I mean at most you do it at uh every 1 year. I think is a good one, because when you're doing the body scan of those things, is actually also it's also like killing your cell,
Yes.
the
Yes.
radiation. Yeah,
Mhm.
so you need to
Yeah.
balance it.
Mm.
Mm.
Right. And then last question to you. Currently you only have 2 meals in a day, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So how about the cost? Is it
Okay,
maintaining the same
now
or cheaper?
of course it's more expensive, and
Mm.
after I started calm diet, I experienced a very very significant inflation to me, and I can feel the inflation on my food. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Of course, it's more
especially chicken,
expensive.
right? Chicken meat
Mm.
right
Yeah,
now is
chicken.
expensive.
Yeah.
Mm.
In these 2 years, because I remember the price. In these 2 years, the chicken is actually kind of like uh is around 10% price increasement per year. So for 2020 increase around 10%, for 2021 increase around 10%.
Mm.
Yeah, and 2022 I also expect it can increase, because in January it increased also around 10%.
Mm.
But less than that. Yeah, it's around 7-8%. Yeah, and one of the food I eat is the pork lard, which is the fat, because I really need to consume a lot of fat,
Yeah.
animal fat. And then the first time I bought, which is around 2 months ago,
Mm.
the price is 2.85
Okay.
per kg. After 1 month, increased to 3.2,
Oh.
and around 2 weeks earlier, increased to
Mm.
2.5.
2.5?
Yeah, so yeah, sorry, 3.5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so from 2.85 increase to 3.5. So increase around 65 cents per kg. And if you divide if you divide it 0.65 divided by 2.85, it is 22.8%, 22.81% in 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, of course, I don't expect it will increase more than that.
Mm.
Yeah, and also the fat is really it's really cheap. Because every day, even though my girlfriend and I eat around like 70 to 75 gram of fat.
Yeah.
In total, both of us share 75 grams, and 75 grams just cost you a fraction of dollar. Yeah. And the price of a chicken increase is the most kind of like most terrible thing to our food budget. And now we actually both of us eat 1 kg, 1,000 grams of chicken. Now the chicken is around is 3.15. 3.15. If I try to estimate, maybe I eat around 60%. Okay. So around 1.9, and then if I plus the pork, which is 3.5 times 75 divided by 1,000, and if I also I pass the macro one piece of macro is around 0.44. Yeah, and so it's around 2.6 Sing dollar per day. Yeah, and yeah, it's around it's around this figure. Yeah, and yeah, sorry, one more thing I eat is about liver. So liver, one piece is around 90 cents, and for one piece I can split into around if I'm not wrong, it's around 3 to 4. Okay, let's say it's 3 and 0.9. Yeah, sorry, I think it's 4. Yeah, I think it's 4. Yeah, it's 4. 4, 3, 12. Yeah, it's 4. So 0.9 divided by 4. So end up is around 2.82 Sing dollar. So it's less than 3 Sing dollar per day. Yeah, and if you
is it for one person or two people?
For one person.
Oh,
for one person.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is still very affordable for even poor people, because if you eat outside, one meal will take you more than $3 already. And now this is my daily food expenses. It's not just one meal. And if you change to the if you put it in into the Malaysia, and then you use this amount times 3, now it's 3.09. It's around 8.7 Malaysian ringgit. Yeah. Is your food budget more than that or less than that? 8.7 Malaysian ringgit. Many of the people,
of course, more than that.
Yeah, more than that. Yeah, so it's still good.
Meals. Yeah, 3 meals. You need to divide it by 3. Yeah, it's quite impossible.
What do you mean?
Yeah, just now it's 8 point something, right?
Yeah,
so
8 point something for
because
whole
you
day.
only you only eat 2 meals, and for normal people in Malaysia we eat 3 meals. So the budget for 3 meals is quite low if you say 8 divided by 3.
Even though you only eat 2 meals, let's say you eat outside, it's definitely more than that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm curious, don't you eat eggs?
What? Egg? Oh, egg is so
eggs.
expensive. Yeah, egg is so expensive. Actually, I run a spreadsheet, and I put the number into my spreadsheet. What is the proteins per price? Yeah, sorry, I missed what is the price per 1 gram of proteins and or per 1 gram of fats, and then I run the spreadsheet, and then I pick the most essential foods I need to eat. For example, egg, I can replace it with chicken. I can replace it with the lard, with the fats. And one thing I couldn't get enough. So I mean, two of the things I couldn't get enough from the lard and also from the chicken. First is the nutrition, the vitamins, and also the mineral, especially the mineral. So, but I can get the mineral from the liver. Liver is a superfood, no matter what type of liver, beef liver, chicken liver, and pork liver is superfood. You can try to do some research and you found it. And some people say liver contain too much vitamin A. Yeah, this is also another nuances. Yeah, some people say you couldn't eat too much. So it's another nuances that you have to question to yourself, and you need to try something. You need to find the research. You need to really do the deep research, and sometimes you also need to try whether too much vitamin A from the liver is really bad for your body. Yeah. Of course, from my research is no. And also another thing is about the omega-3. I really need omega-3. Yeah, because most of our problem is actually is come from inflammation. It's about the imbalance of omega-6 ratio. And another problem is about the high carb diet, because we eat too much carbs. So it may be deteriorate our So maybe we eat too much carbohydrate. It deteriorates our body to function well. Our metabolisms being affected. We couldn't like get rid something. We couldn't like do the thing efficiently, and then so maybe our body feel pain, and also high carbohydrate related to the what is it called, the glycation, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, which is the oxidations of the blood glucose when it meet to the fats, or when it comes into your blood vessel in your cell. Yeah, it's the oxidation. Yeah. And also it also makes sense about the vitamin C. And if you don't eat too much carbohydrate, you don't need too much vitamin C to survive. You won't get the scurvy. Yeah. So the time is getting late, and some of our topic couldn't include in this review section. Maybe we can include in next.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, yeah, so talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Goodbye.